Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of all signs. I'm doing the Libra full moon reading. Let's jump in with some oracle. And I'm using, what is this? The Sacred Traveler, sorry. Sacred Traveler. And I like to see where we've been, where we are, where we're headed. So let's do that. Ooh, Journey by Moonlight, Believe in Magic, where we are, staying focused. Yes, hold the course. And where we're headed, wandering path, enjoy the journey. So absolutely, we've kind of been sort of moving through a lot of interesting, challenging times in the recent months. It's sort of been a little hazy, a little bump in the night kind of energy, but the Believe in Magic theme has come up for me a bunch in the private readings, and so now we're kind of holding the course, staying focused. We're in a new astrological year. We're kind of wrapping up Aries season, about to move into a more fertile season in Taurus. We've had the motivation, and now we're getting into a season of, what are our values? What do we want? Where do we feel nurtured? Yeah, it's more Venusian, right? Venus is now 1 hour after the full moon. She will station direct. She's been retrograde. Mercury has been retrograde, is now direct. So we've got the wandering path to look forward to ahead, where we just kind of, as we meander, it's about enjoying the journey. So I love those messages for us in the oracle. And before I jump into tarot, let me talk about the full moon. So I have some notes here. I always like to curate what's happening from astrologers that I like and my own research. So the full moon in Libra is going to shed light on themes around balance, of course, and harmony, and relationships. Libra rules the 7th house of relationships. So this carries a significant connection to the solar eclipse that just happened on March 29th, and you can expect some more developments and clarity to emerge from the seeds that were planted during that eclipse. And we're finally going to be able to start recognizing the progress that was made in recent weeks and acknowledging the healing work that has been undertaken, and maybe even beginning to feel the positive results of our efforts. So that's kind of good news. Adding another layer of depth to this full moon is Chiron. Right? So Chiron's referred to as the wounded healer, and under this energy, we're going to be encouraged to embrace our vulnerabilities. I know it's always the thing with Chiron, and recognize the profound wisdom that can actually come from our deepest wounds. So yeah, when we're, where the wound is deep is where we gain most of our wisdom from. When we're sitting with somebody who's lived a lot of life, and you can see it in their eyes when they're really giving you pearls of wisdom. You can kind of see in their eyes that glint of pain, right? And that's the effect of Chiron. And so let yourself connect with this potential healing force, understanding how past hurts have shaped your present strength and understanding. So this energy of this full moon, however, is not without its potential pitfalls. As beautiful as it is, Mars is also active and injecting a degree of tension into the mix, as Mars is wont to do. So this could look like petty conflicts or heightened emotions in the world around us, and there's a lot of that going on, or just feeling an inner restlessness that you can't kind of seem to shake. So be mindful of potential flare-ups of anger or repressed emotions rising to the surface, and instead of responding to that, oh my gosh, I got a crying cat, I got a phone call. Okay. Instead of, being reactive, use that energy to find healthy outlets for those frustrations or intense feelings. So for example, things like mindful movement, creative expression, or open and honest communication. I like to do the kind where if I'm having an open conversation, if I have a lot of frenetic energy from frustration or intense feelings, I always communicate with my hand on my heart. Right? So even if I'm on the phone, I like stop what I'm doing and I put the phone down and I put it on, so I can, I don't have to hold it to my ear, and I just keep my hand on my heart so that I'm kind of in touch with the feelings, and it kind of calms me down. So you could try things like that. And those sort of practices will be very helpful. It's very Libra to not only ensure that your own needs are met, but also respecting the perspectives and boundaries of others. That's going to be huge. All in all, we're integrating healing and action and fostering a more balanced and empowered sense of self within our relationships. So now let's talk a little bit more about this full moon. Let me get to it. So we have the Libra full moon, and Venus is stationing direct within 1 hour of the peak of the full moon. So that's highlighting important choices and illuminating what we value now. So it's going to be a full moon at 23 degrees of Libra on the 12th, about 8:22 p.m. Eastern time. So it might be the 13th. In other parts of the world, check your local listings, as I like to say. And it's offering us an objective viewpoint that coincides with that Venus retrograde. So the themes that you've been working through during her retrograde. So she'll station direct that same day, as within an hour, as I said, making a conjunction to Saturn, I know, in Pisces at 25 degrees. So there's a seriousness when Saturn's in the house, right, to what needs to be decided or communicated here. Additionally, Mercury, that's where the communication part comes from, and the North Node are also huddled in this territory, bringing mental energy and important growth opportunities, that's the North Node's realm, to the forefront. So what will you choose for your highest and best good in this moment is sort of what the decision making's about. So the sun is in Aries, and it will be conjunct Chiron, as I just talked about, at 23 degrees, which highlights more of what you're learning about yourself that can be further healed and strengthened. But the good news is there's a lot of tenderness present with all the Pisces energy. You have come so far in knowing more of who you are and what you want. So you may feel a little shaky still. We're not kind of on solid ground yet in some areas, but Chiron reminds us to be kind to ourselves as we start to follow new beginnings. And you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to trust that you are safe for the next steps. So that's why we have the wandering path, right? Trust and enjoy the journey, because we're still kind of going to have a little meandering for a bit. So we want to hold the course, stay focused, and then enjoy the journey as we sort of figure the rest of it out. So that's what we've got essentially for our full moon in Libra. I hope that gives you some, all right, so we're coming down off the roller coaster and maybe into a little bit more of the, when you come off of that thing, it sort of bumps around for a bit longer before you come into the straight. And I've been talking a lot about roller coasters lately, and just so we're clear, I hate them. I think I've ridden maybe 2 roller coasters in my entire 63 years of life, and hated both trips. But I remember them distinctly. I can almost visualize it blow by blow. So I think that's pretty hilarious. Anyway, let me jump in and let's give the tarot a chance to speak to the energies of this full moon for our connections. Let's see what comes through. It is for the collective. It's not a private or personal reading, but take what speaks to you, leave the rest. Hilarious. Ooh, Queen of Wands, that empowerment. This is also Aries energy. What's challenging us? Six of Pentacles. That's reciprocity, give and take. So there's maybe been a little challenge around that. Maybe carrying too much of the load in the connection, not getting enough coming back your way. The root of the problem. Ooh, Two of Cups. Okay, in the partnership, and that is the Libra full moon. We're shining a light in the below, in where we might have a, difficulty, something that hasn't been going great in the past. We have the Lovers, right? Is what you're choosing you. The Lovers card is a card of choice in this sacred connection. Now, top of mind, Hierophant, commitment. It's about our obligations and responsibilities to those we commit to, our beliefs around it at the very least. In the near, two cards came out. In the near future, Seven of Wands. Well, the Seven of Wands, if you look at her, she's kind of got her head turned. So there's some energy of resistance there. The Seven of Wands can be also about asserting oneself, though. So we'll have to see what the clarifiers have to say. We have the Page of Swords from Spirit, hidden energy, Seven of Cups, maybe some mixed messages or a little bit of overwhelm. And then in the Hanged Man in the outcome position. So again, maybe pressing pause and just sort of observing from a safe vantage point. What are we really dealing with here? Buying yourself a little time, in essence, with the Hanged Man to evaluate the situation. I consider the Hanged Man a perspective card. Let me look at this before I take any action. So it can also be things being in limbo for a bit. So we'll see what we get when we get over there. All right, Queen of Wands to the Six of Pentacles. Nine of Wands, the Star, and the Ace of Pentacles. There's the new beginning from the bottom of the deck. So that's kind of playing out behind the scenes, what you can't see. So it's happening, but remember I said things may still be a little shaky and it can still be a little frustrating. And so we kind of have to stay focused on, what we're heading toward, what it is we want, the dream. And so I feel like, yeah, you may be a little exasperated and to some degree with that Queen of Wands reclaiming some power, getting things back on board. And the challenge here is with the reciprocity, the generosity. And it may be that we're moving towards something more up-leveled, but it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a process. So that's what I'm looking at for this particular full moon. Let's see the Two of Cups in the below. Seven of Cups again. King of Swords, Five of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like you're not getting direct communication. So I pen that right, because this is the hidden energy with your person. Your person coming through here as a King of Swords. So not really speaking direct, it's leaving you feeling kind of shut out. For some of you, maybe even ghosted. But it feels like there's mixed messages by way of, and it almost feels to me like the root of the problem is, it may be it may be by design. This person in the King of Swords energy, reversed, can be a little distant, a little like less is more when they communicate, and it leaves a lot of room for confusion, if not even misunderstandings. So I'm seeing that Seven of Cups coming through as, it can throw you into a little bit of emotional issues and a little overwhelm, because you're not connecting, you're not getting the message clearly, and it can be upsetting. Oh, my poor little cat is crying. Can you hear him? He's outside. Oh, Anyway, so what I'm feeling here is it's leaving you feeling either devalued, which is why the Queen of Wands is here, and you're trying to kind of get things back to some form of reciprocity. It could be that you're feeling, just rejected in general. You're not understanding where this person's really coming from because they're not communicating it clearly. Let's see, in the past, we have the Lovers. Death card, Two of Cups, there it is, and the Four of Cups. So again, I don't feel like anything ended here necessarily. Like, I'm just feeling a sense of something that just hasn't really changed, and it's leaving you disillusioned. In the past, just this sense of rejection. Again, the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, Four of Cups can both have a similar energy of feeling like, hey, what am I? And it's about this connection with the Death card in between, almost as if, are we done here? Are you not choosing this connection? Are we not really moving forward with this? So I'm seeing the Death card not as things being over, but that it's not clear. And therefore, all the unhappiness that comes with that, the sense of rejection, the sense of emotional distance, the disillusionment and disappointment around that. Because there's something that's shifting. You haven't sort of given up, and there's an opportunity for something more committed. So I'm not seeing in the past that the relationship was done, just that you're not sure where things stand. Nothing's changing. So let's see the Hierophant in your conscious awareness. Top of mind, Two of Pentacles, the Fool, Five of Swords. What am I really dealing with? Two of Pentacles, yeah. What am I dealing with? Kind of feeling torn. Am I really safe with this person? Am I being played? Am I being taken for granted? Sort of feeling maybe a little defeated in the situation. Do I just take a leap, or am I in a risky situation? So I'm seeing the Fool as the Two of Pentacles is saying, I'm kind of torn about this. I don't really know what I'm dealing with here. And so you're doing some risk assessment. And since commitment is top of mind, and is this someone that would put me first, that would honor that we're committed to each other, right? You have to kind of know what you're really dealing with. And because we have this Seven of Cups, you're not really getting clear messages from this person. So the Seven of Wands in the near future. Queen of Swords. Queen of Wands again. Temperance. I I'm shifting my viewpoint on that Seven of Wands. I almost feel like you're going to come in here in the near future with some energy. Now we have, just so we're clear, we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is Libran energy. So now it's kind of like this person's going to meet their match in your approach. And remember how I talked about that communication, and I said, it might get a little tense. And I said, when I hit this kind of energy where it starts to rise up in me, and I'm kind of like, uh-oh, here we go. And I put my hand on my heart. Well, look at her, how she's got her hand extended. Like, I come in peace. So instead of holding the sword up, I'm like, look, I'm coming in peace. I'm checking my emotions at the door. I'm going to try not to get rattled here, but we got to talk. I feel like this person may come in sort of defensive, like give you that sort of talk to the hand energy, and you're going to come in with that we just have to have some form of an understanding. I got to get things cleared up. We have to have an understanding. And I'm just here to kind of get things sorted. She's a truth seeker and a truth teller, which is very important. She's also super diplomatic, so it's not about cutting anyone down to size. Very diplomatic. But landing on her is the Queen of Wands. So this is where you're getting your power back. You're getting it through that Libran energy of balance, of harmony, of a diplomatic approach, of I'm going to hear you out completely, but you need to come clear. You know, I need the clarity. And the Temperance is beautiful energy because it's about, you know, that self-control and restraint that's really going to be needed here, especially if this person kind of comes in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, a little bit defensive, a little bit resistant, a little bit like what I'm seeing here, that's already the root of the problem, is either they haven't been very communicative, or whatever communication you've received has been like, what? I'm not, that doesn't match up with what you said a week ago. That, you know what I'm saying? Like there's been either miscommunication or confused communication, or it's all over the map with that Seven of Cups. So I feel the opportunity in the near future is to meet the defensiveness head on with diplomacy, with the state of mind that you're going to be practical, pragmatic, clear-eyed, of clear mind. You're going to have an agenda. You're only going to cover what you came to cover. You're going to leave your emotions at the door. You're coming in with your full power, a little bit of magic in that Queen of Wands, and Temperance. I'm going to come in like with flow. It's all about flow. And that understanding that in time, all these crazy energies are going to balance out. So I don't need to bash anyone over the head with my need to get the clarity. I'm coming in nice and balanced. So that's what I see. And then the message from Spirit is the Page of Swords, which is really interesting because the Page of Swords is about the curiosity and like where you can get the information, right? It's about, you know, called the Spire Detective of the Tarot. So let's just go with detective. It's about getting the information that you need so that you can get the clarity. Pages are also messengers. Magician. King of Wands. Right? So it's the information that you need is, you know, are you really manifesting someone that's going to kind of claim this connection, claim what you have to offer, claim the love, claim the passion, claim the sacred connection? Or are they just already kind of too walled off, closed off, shut down? Because this is the card that's important, Page of Swords. That's the information. Are you manifesting that information? Are you manifesting the information you need that will point to get you off this Two of Pentacles? What am I dealing with? Are you dealing with somebody who knows what they want and that they want you? Or are you dealing really with somebody who's just already kind of all walled off, right? Too guarded. Like an unavailable lover. Somebody who just wants what they want when they want it, and isn't really as invested in the connection as you are. That's the information you really need, and that's the message you're getting from Spirit. So let's see, in the hidden energy for this King of Swords, we get the Seven of Cups. Ten of Swords, Two of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like this person is rightly, right with their confusion, meaning you're not getting mixed messages. They're truly confused. So if they're kind of buttoned up and King of Swords being a little mysterious, not real warm and fuzzy, difficult to kind of peg, you can't figure them out. they're coming by that honestly. I really feel that this person is dealing with a lot of pain. I don't know if it's between the two of you. Something may have happened in the past that hasn't sort of, they're still dealing with the results of that. The Ten of Swords is the end of something very painful, but it's sitting here on the Seven of Cups. It's causing this person a lot of emotional overwhelm, and it may be impacting their ability to make decisions. But look, what's landing on it is the Two of Wands, which is asking them, what do you want in a world of possibilities? What do you want? And I feel like this is you. That Nine of Pentacles is someone that, they admire you. They admire you. They know that you're special. They look up to you. They know that you're really somebody they should have no questions about. Do you see what I'm saying? But that Ten of Swords is what's really holding this person back. And it's causing a lot of drama for them, confusion and overwhelm. And I'm not sure what that Ten of Swords is about. It could involve something from some other connection in the past, but it could also be related to this Death card, okay? Something that happened between the two of you in the past that is sitting really prominently in their emotional space. So think about what that could be about for you. It's going to be different for everybody. And so now that we have that information, we have the Hanged Man, King of Pentacles, Hermit, Three of Cups. I feel like this person, in order to kind of show up for you, to sort of be there, be present, be available for the type of commitment that you're looking for, life, partnership, relationship, to be there, to be solid. I feel like they need a little time on their own. I do feel this Hanged Man is a pause for the cause. I really do. I feel in the outcome position where we're headed is a little bit of not limbo, just a temporary pause as this person really takes time to explore, get some introspection. I feel the Seven of Cups doesn't belong to you, it belongs to them. I do feel they'll come back from that. There will be a cause for celebration. There will be a reunion. There will be reconciliation. I feel this person hasn't healed yet from something. I don't know that it involves you. For some of you it will. For others of you, it has nothing to do with you. But it's impacting you a lot because you kind of can't move forward and you're not getting a good read on what the problem is. Well, now I'm showing you that this person really needs some time to sort of understand themselves before they can show up for you in any meaningful way here in 3D. So the Hanged Man will give them that opportunity. All right, and the Hanged Man is Neptune, and let me tell you, Neptune's moving into Aries, and it's going to be a whole different animal when that happens. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Here we go. Neptune. Oh, just moved into Aries. Okay. My bad. It's at 0 degrees. So it literally just happened. So Neptune in Aries. Neptune's mystical influence takes a bold and expressive quality. This period encourages a deep exploration of personal identity and the transcendent power of self-expression. Individuals may be stimulated to take courageous steps towards embodying their ideals, blending faith with action. So I'm seeing exactly that. I'm seeing Neptune and this person becoming stronger and more settled, but they have to do that by going within. It's about their personal growth, their introspection, self-awareness, and then coming through that stronger and returning to you more joyful and more settled in themselves. So that's what I see, all relative to this full moon. It's not all going to happen on the full moon. That's what you can expect going forward. So that's sort of where things will head. All right, so that's what I've got for the full moon in Libra. And I'll give you the astrology. So if you enjoy the reading, please don't hesitate. Subscribe below. Help me build this channel. That's my ask, but I am going to do an extended where I go around the zodiac, Aries through Pisces, and I do smaller spreads for each of the individual zodiac signs for this full moon. So we'll look at what's being illuminated for you for the full moon in Libra, okay, for your relationships. So that's what we'll do, and it's good for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. All right, and the link is below for that. If you're in any of the memberships, if you're in any of the individual zodiac memberships, or if you are in the All Access Pass membership, you already have the extended for that. You do have to log in to moments.com with your username, which is your email address, and your password, and you go find your membership over on the left hand navigation bar, and then just scroll to the full moon collection. It'll be right there. Okay, if you ever have a problem accessing your readings, email me. I have a Gmail address, awakenedpriestess@gmail.com. I answer all emails. That's just email me. Laura, I can't access my reading. I will email you. It'll take me a little time. It might take me more than 5 minutes, but I'll get to you. I promise you. I'm very responsive. Ask anybody. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Let me give you the astrology for this reading. Queen of Wands came out twice. That's Aries energy. We have a lot of energy in Aries and Pisces this month. We've got the star is Aquarius. We have King of Swords is also Aquarius. We have the Lovers is Gemini. The Death card, Scorpio. We've got the Hierophant is Taurus. The Fool is the planet Uranus, which is also Aquarius. A lot of Aquarian energy coming through in this reading. The Queen of Swords is Libra. Temperance is Sagittarius. Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Magician is Mercury, which rules Virgo and Gemini. King of Wands is some Leo energy there. The Nine of Pentacles is Virgo. As I said, the Hanged Man is Neptune, which rules Pisces. King of Pentacles is Taurus. Hermit is Virgo. And that's what I have. And plus our Oracle and the Wandering Path. We're going to try to enjoy the journey, though there's a little fox there. So, there might be a little twists and turns along the way. That's what I have. I'm headed to the extended. The link is below if you just want this extended. Bye for now.